Schools, libraries, swimming pools and bin collections have all been affected today by a strike by public sector workers.
Teachers, firefighters, council workers all walked out in protest at pay, pensions and holidays. There were hundreds at the rally in Birmingham, which was so noisy it caused the council to halt meetings. Mark Goff reports.
They came in their hundreds, trumpeting their anger at what they see as low pay. Shireen Facey looks after the elderly for Birmingham City Council. In the cuts, she's lost thousands on her salary.
£3,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And so, what do you want to happen now?
Well, I want them to give us back our weekend pay, double time and time and a half on Saturday as well. Yeah, because we do a lot of work. We're doing more work for less money. That's why I'm protesting today.
I'm a lollipop lady, we're dinner ladies, and they're just left telling you you've got a rise and you haven't because they've taken something else away, so it's despicable. And I'm annoyed about the pensions as well because I'm 60 and it's ridiculous saying you've got to go to 65.
It was a noisy protest outside the council house, too noisy for the meetings inside.
It means that we've got to put off the planning committee, which would have been held today, for a whole week. So 35 separate improvements to the city, 35 investments have been held up for another week. So it means that our recovery as a city is held up just so that they can have this protest.
Which they're legally entitled to do, of course.
Of course, yes, but why protest when there's less of a cake? Why not improve the cake and then protest about what proportion you get of it?
I'm really concerned about the elderly, I'm really concerned about people with disabilities, I'm really concerned about children, and I feel that they don't have a voice and we have to speak up for them.
Well, I know if we do nothing, we'll get nothing, so we have to do something, but at the moment, Michael Gove isn't listening, so we'll carry on until he does listen.
Birmingham City Council said they put some contingency plans in to make sure that frontline services ran smoothly today. However, there have been some effects, most notably in rubbish collection and schools. But the protesters here today said they had to strike. They had no option. Mark Goff, ITV News, Birmingham.
Well, as we saw there's no doubting the strength of feeling amongst those on strike. But what is the government's view? According to the coalition, the Midlands economy is on the up compared to recent times.
Our political correspondent, Alison Mackenzie, now reports on the Westminster response to the day of action.
Put simply, the government described today's strikes as irresponsible. They say in austere times the people across the Midlands should rally together, not risk an economic recovery by going out on strike. They insist that services haven't been brought to a standstill and that pay restraint is essential because they inherited a big deficit from the previous Labour government. These are the words of the Cabinet Office Minister, Francis Maude.
We have to restrain pay. That's an essential part of it. We can't allow debts to mount up in the way that has happened in the past, because these are debts that our children and our grandchildren are going to have to pay off. It would be quite irresponsible to mortgage the future of the country in that way. So we have to continue to take difficult decisions so that we can protect frontline services while preventing the debts mounting up in the way they have in the past.
We know that if the Conservatives win through at the next election, they'll bring forward legislation to change the rules on when strikes can be held. They say so few people turned out in some of the strike ballots, it's not really representative. So they're thinking of a threshold, a determined level of turnout before a strike can be determined lawful. Alison Mackenzie, ITV News, Westminster.
Well, that's the picture from Westminster this evening. But in tonight's lobby, you can hear what three of our Midlands MPs think on the rights and wrongs of the government's response to the striking public sector.
I think this is a bit of a distraction by the government, and I support, if trade unions want to go on strike, I'm also a member of a trade union, I support their right to strike. We've got to have...
Even though the minority want it? This has to be fair, because, you know, I talk to teachers who don't want to strike, who feel
well, they don't have to go on
pressure.
strike.
A lot of them haven't gone on strike.
There's no closed shop anymore.
From their colleagues if they're not going out on strike. And I think that all they want is, you know, a fair ballot in a fair time scale so that you can justify whether you're taking action.
Well,
was there a threshold for hourly?
The question is how you define fair. Yeah. And basically, on this occasion, people have gone on strike. I don't think they should have gone on strike. I think it's a waste of time because they're striking against the maths. And 2 + 2, sadly, is always going to be 4. It won't be 5.
For the full lively debate and more on the millions of pounds headed here from Westminster to boost the region's economy, that's the lobby tonight at 11:35.
You are watching ITV News Central. Still to come on the programme,